Nertolase par Johamur, my system for translating. Tinkatai par ni, about me. Over the past year, I've written hundreds of posts using Mandoa in 5 Mandoa or Mando Realism Discord servers. I've written on such topics as language, culture, seasons, fables, new words, and grammar, but mostly about my daily life and tips for better living. Because I prefer to hew closer to the original dictionary, I'm picky about which fanon I decide to include in Niaki Kahatike, my little stories. Marayir Mirde, Finding Thoughts. Most of my posts start off in English. I hear a life hack or a song, and I wonder how I can present it in Mandoa. A friend asks for help with translating a poem. Someone poses a question to the general server population, and I decide to challenge myself by responding in Mandoa. Someone asks how to express a concept in Mandoa, and I research whether it's possible using the limited words available. Here, then, is an overview of the process I go through in translating all manner of topics into a language with less than 2,000 words. Solish. First. Step 1. Read over the entire piece to get a sense of content and flow. Consider what each word is doing in the sentence. If you know Mandoa grammar well, decide if you need to rephrase the sentence because certain words aren't used the same way in Mandoa as in English. Mi kabu. We try it. Here's a sentence I heard in an inspirational video. Happiness is the ability to deal with whatever life gives to you. Tadish. Second. Step 2. Delete words that Mandoa generally drops, such as articles and the verb to be, and reword any flowery phrases. If you are not sure about grammar, review a guide for Mandoa before starting. Check the comments for my recommended grammar guides. Mikabu. We try it. I cross out the unused words. Happiness, ability to deal with whatever life gives to me. Anish. Third. Step 3. Replace all the words that you can easily find in your favorite Mandoa dictionary. Skip over anything you can't figure out right now. I prefer the Mandoa dictionary from Mando Creator as my starting point. Mikabu. We try it. I drop the words that I crossed out in step 2. The words I replace in step 3 are in red. Happiness, ability to deal ti whatever life dinui bani. Kuirish. Fourth. Step 4. Look up each untranslated word in an English dictionary to get the meaning in simple words that Mandoa might have, and in a thesaurus to find possible alternates that might be in your preferred Mandoa dictionary. Try out different words and phrases until you get something that seems least likely to be misread. I prefer to use the Merriam-Webster dictionary and thesaurus. This is the point where you can swap in fanon from a favorite server, but keep track of what you use because you'll need to include translations for non-standard words if you share your work. Mikabu. We try it. Here are the remaining words and the equivalents I considered for them. Happiness. This could be expressed as happy feeling, so brikase aloya. Alternatively, perhaps this life tip better applies to Sherishoy, less for life. Ability. I'll need to use a similar but less obvious word, perhaps kot, strength, kartal, knowledge, souvarir, to understand, or jatne nare, best actions. To deal. This can mean to act, so narir, to act. Or maybe I'll think of something better once I reconsider what it's doing in this phrase. Whatever. This means anything that, which is me and meg. Life. A Star Wars Insider article gave the word for life as Oyashe, so I'll use that. I could stop here and put together what I've done so far, but I've been writing with Mandoa long enough to know that I can create a better translation by considering more of the phrase as a whole. So thinking about what the ability to deal with means in the context of this phrase, a more accurate way of expressing this set of words is s'ouvrir, jatne, nare, par, to understand the best actions for. Reishe Allah, 5th. Step 5. Put everything together and then translate it into English again to make sure it still makes sense. If you plan to post it in a Discord server, include a translation and spoiler tags, especially if you use Fanon. If you plan to post it elsewhere online, include a glossary of Fanon words and a link to the Mandoa dictionary that you used. As you fiddle with word choices in order, you might decide to start over, or you might scrap your efforts because the way certain words are used in Mandoa causes the original intention of the statement to be lost. After you translate many sentences and become more familiar with Mandoa, the process becomes easier. Mikabu, we try it. The words I replaced in this step are in blue. Cherishoi s'ouvrir, jatne, nare, par, mayen, meg, oyashe, dinui, bani. A lust for life is to understand the best actions for anything that life gives to me. I notice that there's an unconjugated verb in this sentence, which could be mistaken by a reader as an error rather than implying a dropped cuillère to exist. I also realize that cherishoi is to understand doesn't make any more sense in English than Mandoa. I need to fix that too, so that I have a verb paralleling a verb. Ani ki kahatik. Complete little story. After all the pondering and switching, here's our translation. Ganar cherishoi kui s'ouvrir jatne nare. Parmeyen meg oyashe dinui bani. To have a lust for life is to understand the best actions for anything that life gives to me.